Every story has its beginning and its end, and this one cost me my life. My name is David, and this is my story. I found the love of my life when I was 15 years old. At that age, people usually search for themselves. I believed I'd already found myself, lay in her. Anna. Her name sounded simple, almost ordinary, but her voice never was. It had a warmth that made you forget where you were, that made you believe everything would always be all right. We were together for many years. We went through everything: youthful arguments, jealousy without reason, dreams of the future we didn't yet know how to achieve. But we stayed. Eventually, we crowned that relationship with marriage. I still remember our wedding day. I remember looking into her eyes while she said yes. In that moment, I was certain of one thing. If I ever lose her, I will lose myself as well. I didn't know how right I was. Anna was my support, my friend, my home. She made my life more beautiful in a way you cannot explain until it's gone. But sometimes that support can turn into ruins that devour you from the inside. There are relationships that rot slowly, silently, without warning, until it's too late. We didn't notice. It all began innocently. A prize draw, a trip to Bogota, Colombia. We laughed when they told us we had won. We thought it was a joke, but it wasn't. From that day on, we started preparing. Saving money, planning every detail. We worked double shifts, took extra jobs, sold things we no longer needed. We were exhausted but happy. That was when the first strange thing happened. Anna began dreaming the same dream every night. She never wanted to tell me the details. She would only say, "It's not a dream, David. It's a memory." The day of departure arrived quietly. Too quietly. We got into a taxi and drove toward the airport. The city looked the same, yet distant, as if I were seeing it through glass. Anna was silent. "Is everything okay?" I asked. She smiled, but her smile lagged behind her eyes. "Of course." At the airport, we checked in without problems. Everything went smoothly, too smoothly. At passport control, the officer held my document longer than necessary. He looked straight into my eyes and said quietly, "Not everyone comes back." I thought he was joking. He didn't smile. The plane took off. Anna squeezed my hand, too tightly. "If something happens," she said. "Nothing will happen," I interrupted. But she nodded as if agreeing with something I didn't know. I couldn't sleep during the flight. I felt like someone was watching us. In the airplane bathroom for a moment, I saw a face behind mine in the mirror. It wasn't mine. When I turned around, there was no one. After several hours, we landed. The heat hit my lungs. The air smelled of moisture and metal. Anna acted strangely, as if she already knew where we were going. We got into a car that took us to the hotel. The driver didn't speak. The radio hissed. In that hiss, I heard whispers, but I couldn't understand the words. The hotel looked beautiful, too beautiful. There were no other guests. The receptionist handed us the key and said, "Room 404. Anna froze. The room was perfect, too perfect. No dust, no sounds, no real view through the window. Only thick fog. That first night, I woke up at 3:17 a.m. Anna was sitting on the edge of the bed, her back straight, hands on her knees, as if waiting to be called. "He's coming," she said. "Who?" I asked. She turned toward me. Her eyes were no longer hers. Morning came, but brought no relief. The sun was there, but it didn't warm anything. It felt fake, like a background image. Still no other guests. No voices in the hallways. The receptionist repeated the same phrases like a recording. "My wife is missing," I said later that day. "Good morning. We wish you a pleasant stay." Anna disappeared while I was in the room. The bathroom was empty. Her phone was still there, her bag untouched. On the mirror, smeared by a finger, were letters. D.O. Then nothing. I ran into the hallway. The carpet was covered in star-shaped patterns, sharp, unnatural stars that felt wrong to look at. The hallway seemed longer than before, impossible. At the end of it, I found a door I hadn't seen earlier, no number, only a symbol, a circle of small stars with an eye in the center. When I opened it, I smelled wax and something metallic. Inside wasn't a room, it was a space. Candles burned without flickering. On the floor, stars drawn in complex patterns, connected by lines like a map. In the center lay Anna, unconscious. Her hair spread around her head like a dark halo. Around her, books, old, leather-bound, without titles. On her palms were marks, like burned symbols shaped as stars. A shadow stood at the door behind me. Too tall, not human. I knew it was watching me. Anna whispered without opening her eyes, "He is coming. He's closer now." One book lay open near me. On its page was my name, David. Below it, "He does not enter. He is invited." The loved heart is the door. I understood. Anna was the door. This trip wasn't a vacation, it was a summons. I tried to carry her away. The lines on the floor began to glow. The shadow stepped forward. The hotel trembled. The hallway stretched endlessly as I ran. The elevator was gone. In its place, old wooden doors marked with the same eye. Anna opened her eyes briefly. "When he speaks in your thoughts," she whispered, "don't answer him." But then I heard it, my own voice inside my head. "David, I am the path. I am the reward. I am the end." The walls began to breathe. The carpet moved like a living map. Anna cried. "He's closer," she said. "When he arrives, you'll look at me and see him." "Why did you disappear?" I asked. "Because he takes me whenever he wants." And that was when I understood. Some stories don't end. They wait. And if you're reading this, if you ever win a trip too easily, and if someone hands you the key to room 404, don't enter. Because every story has a beginning and an end. And some of them cost you your life.